So you can see this is pipe right here is the cast iron. So I mean there's a lot of scale on the bottom of the pipe. You know, all that rough scale. You know, that's just from over years the cast iron, you know, it just corrodes. But it's pretty much like that whole section over here, and then you can see that the pipe isn't actually round anymore. You know, it's real flat because the scale build-up is, you know, pretty extreme actually. So there may have only been, you know, a couple of people living here, you know, at a time, because there's not been a lot of water. It takes years and years for that corrosion and scale to build up, but it can be removed. So right here, this is where it changes direction, going out to the street. Now you can see there's a whole bunch of dirt and sand.
Right, so you were going just straight out.
Yeah, it goes this way and then it turns.
Okay, so it kind of goes like that.
Yeah, this basically what you have is you have this where it changes to clay. So the pipe is coming out at kind of this angle.
Right.
With a slight turn on it,
right.
and then when it gets to here, it's almost like an L shape.
Right.
But then this is actually a directional T. This is a combi right here. So on the back side is where the laundry's tied into it.
Oh, I got
so
you.
then it heads out
right.
that way.
Okay. All right.
But you can see there's a whole bunch of sand and dirt right in that line. So there may be that piece of clay that's sticking up out the ground on the outside of the laundry room. You know, that may be connected to this
right.
line, and that's actually the end of line cleanout.
Right.
You know, that would have been installed when all of those, you know, when the sewer was put in place.
Right.
So push through here. You know, there's a lot of stuff, you know, that's obviously underwater now, and there's quite a bit of debris. So I'll have to kind of just push through. But you know, it's holding water.
And is that normal that it holds water?
No.
No.
No, you're not. I mean, it's supposed to be, you know, it's a gravity system. You know, it should have, you know, basically everything should be flowing through the pipe. There's a lot of heavy sediment on the pipe. So in that section, you know, before it came out of the water, there may just be a whole bunch of that dirt and sand that's moved down the line. Because it's soft, so as you're pushing the camera, you know, it's almost like putting it like into oatmeal.
Right, so you're pushed through that now.
Yeah, you push through it, so chances are there's a bunch, you know, there's just a bunch of sand and dirt in there, because that, if that pipe out back is connected to it, I mean, it was packed full of dirt.
And now what's that pipe? Is that the sewer?
Yeah, this is this is you going out towards the street.
So is that my responsibility?
Yeah, you're responsible to where the entire line to
so
where it connects to the main.
So it's that junction where there's a lot of buildup.
Yeah.
Okay, but this part looks good.
Yeah, so far. It'll make it a little bit easier to push with with that little bit of water running, and hopefully it'll help move a lot of that stuff around. So it's basically going down, like there's a strip in the side here in the planter and the drive way where there's a small section of, you know, dirt in the middle of the concrete, and it basically is going down right, you know, in the middle of there. So
right, I got you.
yeah, I had a look on the engineering map last night to see, you know, which direction this goes, and it's not on the map. It shows me where the Y connection in the street is, but it doesn't show what's called the lateral. But you know, the fact, you know, after doing a little bit more research with it, it's pretty good, because this sewer, there's only like 3 houses on this portion of the sewer, so that's.
Oh, there are only 3 houses on this portion. Okay.
Yeah, we're in the section in the main, so it's pretty good actually.
How far are you now?
40 feet. Alright, so here's some roots right here. Let me See if I can change. Yeah, it doesn't really. Just when you push the camera through, you know,
Yeah,
over time it just
yeah,
gradually turns. So here you can see, you know, you've got basically a separation in the joint. So this is the bottom of the pipe. You get roots coming in all, you know, basically all the way around here. And you have a gap, and there was a cockroach that came out of there a second ago. So basically when you have that, you know, basically means that this joint's compromised. You're always going to have roots coming in here, and over time, you know, the roots will just grow and they'll block the sewer.
Right.
So that's, you know, that's definitely something that needs to be, you know, repaired. Because not only are you letting roots in, that's actually your sewage water is actually going into the groundwater.
Where are we now? We're still under the driveway area? Are we in the street?
Yeah, now we're in the driveway area. And there's some separation in this guy as well.
And how far down do you think this pipe is? How deep from the surface?
I can, once I have it out there, I'll take a depth measurement. But minimum, where I found it out there, it was about 3.5 feet, just behind the gate. Right, so there's some more roots coming through there on that joint. And we're still in the 4-inch portion of the pipe right now. It changes to 6-inch. Now it's holding water again. Underwater, that's not a good sign. Something on there. When it goes black, that's not a good sign. It's a piece of concrete.
What's that?
It's a root. It's a giant root. Yeah, that's a real dense root. It's just because you're pushing in and out, you know, with the direction of it, because it's moving a little bit, it's kind of loose. Let's see if I can knock it loose.
I know they've had these cameras for a while, but it is pretty amazing.
Yeah, well, some of the other stuff I have is even more amazing. Yeah, I've got a toy for every occasion, and a tool for every job. Yeah, it's coming through the top of the pipe. It's just a real, you know, it's a real dense looking root. But, you know, either way, it's definitely into the pipe, so that's not good. Let's shove through.
And this is clay, this pipe?
Yeah. That's broken on that. Okay, see this section right here. Let me see any better that way. Okay, this line, this groove, not the white one, but the one behind it. This is a spiral fracture, which basically means, because this piece right here, where it's mostly white, where there's a small root coming through, that's the joint of the pipe, and behind that, the pipe is actually starting to fracture and crack all the way around the pipe.
You can see that?
Yeah, yeah, that's what that is. That's a hairline fracture on the clay. So it means that the joint, the clay.
The clay overlaps, right? Doesn't it do that?
Yeah.
Does it cup it?
Yeah. You'll have, depending on how if it was banded together or if it was concreted together, it'll either be a straight piece of pipe like this, or it'll be a hub pipe with one, you know, with a bell going in. I mean, it's hard to tell from this side. You have to see it from the outside. You know what it is. But this groove or this line that's going around here, the pipe is cracked there. Yeah, it's a nice fracture. It's a little bit of shifting, you know. It's just over time, you know, with the type of sewer, the environment, you know, the ground always swells and contracts over years. You know, there's always ground movement. So right here, this is what's classed as the property line transition. So right here it changes from 4-inch pipe, 4-inch clay pipe, and it goes into 6-inch.
And is that city pipe now?
No, this is still your pipe. This is what the city class is, a 6-inch service lateral, and the homeowner's responsible for it. So you're about 60 feet out at the property line. So somewhere, you know, at the driveway or in the apron area. But when I pull the camera back, we'll go find that and see where it is. Because a 6-inch. Not too bad on that joint. This joint's starting to shift. Awful, man. Well, when you see cockroaches crawling in and out of joints, that's not a good sign.
Did you just see one? Cause I missed it.
Yeah, it's right here. There are a couple of them kicking about. See them right there?
Oh, I see, yeah. Yeah.
So when you have a space where a cockroach is kind of hanging out, it means it's open there. They love that environment right there because they can get to the soil, and then they have the heat off of the sewer and all of that, you know. Good stuff in there. Not too bad. There's a few babies in there. That one's shifting as well. Yeah, I think the total, when I pushed it out before, you know, because I was kind of just pushing it out there to get some of the debris and stuff moving. This joint here again, there's roaches living on the top of it. I think it's about 95 feet, or about 91 to 95 feet to where it connects to the main. And these roaches are feasting over here again.
Yeah, I see them. Is that another joint?
Yeah.
So they're pretty much at every joint.
Pretty much every joint. I mean, some of them, you know, they're just minor root intrusions, but any separation is basically an opportunity for roots to come in and for, you know, basically groundwater contamination. Clay's, like on the bottom of it where the water line is, you can see the clay is pitted, you know, where it's more white. So basically the glaze surface on it is, you know, flaking off. And this joint's a little bit of a shift on it, but that's too bad. So this is coming up to the end of the line. Let's see how the saddle looks. Alright. So this is the saddle right here. This is the last part.
So are we under the street now?
Yeah, you're in the street now. Okay. So this is at basically to the main.
Right.
That's in the sewer right there. So I think what I'll do is I'll pull it back to the 4x6 transition just to see where that is. And we'll go there. So it's just give or take, it's, you know, about 90 feet to the main.
Right.
I should get a better look on the way back. But it looks like the saddle itself is in good shape. The good thing is the city in LA. So there's a little bit of a tweak on that, but that's covered. What they do, I mean, they're one of the best cities for maintaining the sewer system, their sewer system. You know, they repair and replace it and they maintain it actually really well. And what they'll do for, you know, periodically is they go through a program where they actually replace the main. And what they'll do is they'll put a new saddle connection on your pipe, and then they'll change back about 5 feet. This one hasn't been done, but at some point it will be done. You know, because they're basically repairing all of them. But yeah, definitely in this 4-inch section on the property, it's got, you know, with some roots and where those root intrusions are.